All right, let's get ready for a deep dive today. We're going to be trying to unlock the secrets of attraction.
Oh, exciting.
Right. And we've got this really interesting source here
Okay.
that breaks down like all these little signs that maybe a woman is into you. Think of it kind of like,
A new language?
yeah, the unspoken language of attraction.
I like that.
So our source starts with the eyes, calls them, the window to the soul.
Uh-huh.
Okay, maybe that sounds a little cliche,
I'm
but
like, what?
but I think there's actually some real science behind it, right?
For sure. When we make eye contact with someone, it triggers the release of oxytocin. That's often called the love hormone.
Right.
It can create these, feelings of connection and trust.
Oh, okay.
But it's not just any eye contact, though, right?
Right.
We're talking about like lingering glances, the way her pupils might dilate when she's looking at you.
Okay, so how can you tell the difference then between just like friendly eye contact and something a little more? I mean, I make eye contact with the barista at my coffee shop every morning, but doesn't mean I'm attracted to him.
True.
Yeah, context is definitely important, but there are some subtle differences, I think. Like romantic eye contact, it tends to be more intense and sustained. You might notice her gaze kind of lingering on your face even when you're not talking.
Huh. Interesting. And what about those like accidental touches?
Yes.
I know our source mentions those as a potential sign.
Physical touch, that releases dopamine,
Oh, go back.
which is another one of those feel-good chemicals, and it's associated with pleasure and reward. So when a woman is attracted to you, she may find excuses to touch your arm or brush up against you, or even playfully punch you on the shoulder.
Yeah. It's like she's, I don't know,
Testing the water,
testing the waters. Yeah.
seeing how you respond to her touch.
But again, couldn't that also just be friendly? Of course. Again, context is super important. But if you start to notice a pattern of her initiating physical contact, and that's accompanied by some of these other signs of attraction that we're talking about, it could be a pretty strong indicator of her interest.
Okay. Our source also talks about changes in body language, like blushing or fidgeting.
Yeah, these are often involuntary responses, when you feel flustered or nervous around someone you're attracted to,
Interesting.
like your body betraying your hidden feelings.
Oh, wow.
You might also notice her kind of leaning in when you're talking, mirroring your body language, or playing with her hair subconsciously.
Why would she play with her hair? Is that...
It's thought to be a way of drawing attention to her femininity. It can also be a self-soothing behavior, just a way of calming those nerves, when you're around someone you find attractive.
Okay, so we've got the eyes, the touch, the body language. What about verbal cues? How can you tell if a woman is flirting with you through her words?
That's a great question. She might start asking a lot more personal questions,
Okay.
showing a genuine interest in your life.
Right.
She might tease you playfully, give you compliments, or even kind of subtly hint at being single or looking for a relationship.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that before.
Like what?
Like she'll complain about how all the good guys are taken, or she'll ask me if I'm seeing anyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's trying to kind of gauge your relationship status and subtly signal her own availability.
Wow, it's fascinating stuff. I'm starting to see all these little signs everywhere now.
But it's also important, to not overanalyze every little thing.
Yeah.
Attraction is complex. There's no foolproof formula.
You don't want to jump to conclusions
Right, exactly.
based on just one or two signals.
It's all about looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Consider all those cues together and pay attention to how she interacts with you specifically.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here,
We have.
but there's still more to unpack.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to mirroring and possessiveness yet.
All right, well, let's dive into those next.
So mirroring, right? Mirroring is basically when someone kind of subtly imitates your behavior,
Okay.
like your posture, your mannerisms, even your speech patterns.
Oh.
It often happens unconsciously, but it can be a pretty powerful sign of attraction.
So if she starts crossing her legs when I cross mine, or using the same slang I do, does that mean she's into me?
It's possible. Mirroring is one way to build rapport,
Oh.
kind of show that you're on the same wavelength, creates that sense of connection and harmony.
But couldn't it also just be, coincidence? Or maybe she's just being polite.
You always got to consider other factors.
Yeah.
But if you consistently notice that she's mirroring your behavior,
Right.
especially when it's combined with some of those other signs of attraction that we've been discussing,
Yeah.
it could be worth paying attention to.
Our source also mentions possessiveness
Right?
as a potential sign of attraction. But isn't that a little bit of a red flag?
It can be, yeah. Yeah.
But not always. Like a little bit of playful jealousy, that can actually be kind of a cute sign
Oh.
that she's interested and maybe doesn't want to lose you to someone else.
So, like, if she gets a little annoyed when I'm talking to another woman...
Exactly. Or if she makes a playful comment about you, spending too much time with your friends.
Oh, right.
It's her way of subtly staking her claim.
But how do you tell the difference, though, between, like, that playful jealousy
Right.
and just straight-up controlling behavior?
It's a fine line, yeah. Playful jealousy, it's usually lighthearted, teasing,
Okay.
not aggressive or manipulative.
Right.
She might roll her eyes, make a sarcastic remark, but it's not meant to be, like, hurtful or controlling.
Okay, so a little jealousy can be cute,
A little.
but too much.
Too much is a warning sign.
Yeah, I got it.
It's all about finding that balance.
Yeah.
Now, let's switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
It's something that our source emphasizes quite a bit, which is making someone feel special. Yeah, they talk about how, like, a woman will go out of her way to make you feel good if she's attracted to you.
Exactly. It's all about showing that genuine care and attention.
Right.
It's not necessarily about grand gestures, though. It's the little things, little acts of kindness that demonstrate you're thinking about her.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Well, she might remember your favorite coffee order, and she surprises you with it.
Okay.
Or maybe she offers to help you with something that you're struggling with.
Right.
Or maybe she just listens really attentively when you're talking, remembers the details of your stories.
Those are all really good points. It's the little things
Exactly.
that show that you're paying attention and that you care.
It's about making her feel seen, heard, and appreciated. And all of those efforts, I think they speak volumes about your feelings for her.
I think a lot of people struggle with this, though. Like, how do you make someone feel special without, seeming too eager or trying too hard?
It's all about being genuine and authentic. Don't force it.
Yeah,
Just be yourself and let your natural care and concern shine through.
I like that. So we've covered eyes, touch, body language, verbal cues, mirroring, possessiveness, making someone feel special.
We've covered a lot.
Is there anything else our source highlights?
You know what? There's one more fascinating aspect I think we need to explore.
Oh, okay.
And that's the significance of absence.
Absence.
Yeah, so our source kind of observes that if a woman is truly attracted to you,
Right.
she'll exhibit noticeable sadness
Okay.
or a sense of longing when you're not around.
Oh, I see. Like, she'll miss you when you're gone.
Exactly. When we develop a genuine emotional connection with someone, their presence becomes a source of comfort and joy.
Right.
So naturally, their absence creates kind of a void.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that. Have you ever noticed that feeling yourself? Where you're just kind of a little bit down when someone you care about isn't around?
Absolutely. It's a natural human response to feeling connected to someone.
Okay, so if she seems a little bummed when you're not around,
Right.
that could be a sign that she's into you.
It's definitely something to pay attention to. But again, context is key.
Right.
Don't read too much into it if there could be other explanations for her mood.
Yeah, you don't want to misinterpret things.
Exactly.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. I'm curious to hear, like, your final thoughts on all of this.
Sure.
Is there any overarching message or key takeaway?
I think the most important thing to remember is that attraction is complex.
Yeah.
It's a nuanced dance. There's no magic formula or a guaranteed set of signs.
So what are we supposed to do with all this information?
Use it as a guide, not a rule book,
Okay.
Pay attention to the signals, but also trust your intuition and look at the bigger picture.
That's good advice. So don't overthink it. Just be yourself and see what happens.
Exactly. And I think most importantly, treat everyone with respect, regardless of whether you're attracted to them or not.
Absolutely. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
You say we wrap things up here.
Sounds good to me.
We've gone through all this stuff about attraction, all these signs. It's like a puzzle, right?
It is, yeah.
Trying to figure out all these little pieces, eye contact, body language, what they're saying,
All the cues.
all those cues, how they fit together. And sometimes they don't fit together so neatly, right?
No, exactly. I mean, everyone expresses attraction in their own way.
Right.
Cultural norms,
Yeah.
different personalities, past experiences.
Yeah.
They all influence how we communicate our feelings.
And I know our source brings up a good point about, like,
misinterpretation.
Yeah, misinterpretations, like being careful about,
Jumping to conclusions.
jumping to conclusions. Exactly.
Just based on one gesture
Yeah.
or behavior.
Like, just because a woman is really touchy-feely doesn't automatically mean...
Exactly.
it's
She's
just-
dating you, right?
doesn't mean she's sending a romantic signal. Right.
She could just be having a good hair day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do we, avoid those awkward misreadings then?
Yeah.
How do we make sure we're not just projecting our own desires onto someone else?
Well, I think it comes back to context and observation, right?
Mm.
Look for clusters of signals,
Okay.
not isolated incidents.
Right.
Like, is she treating you differently than she treats other people?
Mhm.
Are her actions matching up with her words?
Yeah, a little bit of common sense never hurts.
Never hurts.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
don't overthink it. I think if you're genuinely interested in someone,
Yeah.
the best approach is often just to be straightforward.
Keep it simple.
Simple. Engage in conversation, show genuine interest,
Right.
let things unfold naturally.
That sounds a lot less stressful
Much less.
than trying to, overanalyze every little thing.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah. At the end of the day, attraction's about connection.
Hmm.
It's about finding someone who you resonate with on multiple levels. Someone who makes you feel seen,
Right.
heard,
Mm-hmm.
understood.
Yeah. And sometimes you just know, right?
Sometimes you just know.
There's just that spark.
At birth.
It goes beyond any of these signs.
That's the real magic
Yeah.
of attraction.
It really is.
Yeah.
So listeners, I hope this deep dive has given you some good insights.
Some food for thought.
Yeah, into the very subtle language at attraction.
Absolutely.
Remember, it's a journey, not a destination, right?
Yeah, and the most rewarding discoveries
Mm-hmm.
are often the ones that we make
Right.
through open communication, genuine connection,
Yeah,
and a little bit of self-awareness.
beautifully said.
Yeah.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep connecting, keep those conversations going.